Picture this. You're living in a peaceful village, the sun setting as you prepare for the night. Then, out of nowhere, a chilling horn echoes through the air. You hear shouts, the crash of shields, and the unmistakable war cries of the Vikings. They've come, and no one can stop them. But why were these warriors so much better at fighting than anyone else? Let's uncover the truth. The Vikings weren't mythical beings. They were human like you and me. But their ability to dominate the battlefield makes them feel almost superhuman. Let's dive into their world and uncover what set them apart. 1. A hard life that built tough people. To understand the Vikings, you have to understand their world. Life in Scandinavia was unforgiving. The winters were brutal. The land was tough to farm, and survival wasn't guaranteed. For the Vikings, every day was a challenge. But this hardship made them strong. Imagine growing up having to chop wood, row boats, and hunt in freezing conditions. By the time they were adults, they were already physically and mentally prepared for the demands of war. 2. A culture that celebrated courage. Viking society revolved around bravery. A person's worth wasn't measured by how much gold they had, but by their courage and strength. For men, fighting was a way to earn respect and status. But it wasn't just about men. Viking women were strong too. They ran households, defended their homes, and in some cases, even fought alongside men. It was a society built on resilience, and that spirit flowed into their combat. 3. Weapons that were extensions of themselves. Let's talk about their weapons. Viking axes weren't just tools. They were symbols of power. Their long-handled axes could split shields and helmets with a single swing. Their swords, lightweight and double-edged, were perfect for fast, deadly strikes. But what's fascinating is how personal their weapons were. Many Vikings decorated their swords and shields with runes or carvings. These weren't just tools of war. They were part of their identity. 4. The power of fear. One thing that made the Vikings unique was their ability to strike fear into their enemies. They didn't just rely on their weapons. They used their reputation. Stories of Viking raids spread across Europe, painting them as unstoppable and ruthless. Imagine facing a group of warriors who not only looked terrifying, but also fought like they had nothing to lose. That kind of fear could break an enemy before the battle even began. 5. Fighting for a higher purpose. What made the Vikings even more dangerous was their belief in the afterlife. They weren't afraid to die because they believed in Valhalla, a paradise where fallen warriors would feast forever. For them, dying in battle wasn't the end. It was the ultimate goal. This belief gave them unmatched courage. They didn't fight for survival. They fought for glory, knowing that every swing of their axe brought them closer to eternal honor. 6. Masters of strategy. The Vikings weren't just strong, they were smart. They used their longships to launch surprise attacks, striking fast and retreating before anyone could react. They chose their battles carefully, often attacking when their enemies were at their weakest. And let's not forget their shield walls. This tactic, where warriors locked their shields together, created an impenetrable barrier. It was a perfect example of their discipline and teamwork. 7. Brotherhood and unity. Viking warriors didn't fight alone. They fought as a team, relying on each other for protection and strength. This sense of brotherhood wasn't just practical, it was emotional. They trusted each other with their lives, and that trust made them stronger. Think about it. When you're surrounded by people who have your back, you feel unstoppable. That's what the Vikings brought to every battle. 8. Unrelenting endurance. The Vikings didn't just win battles, they outlasted their enemies. They could march for days, row across oceans, and fight for hours without breaking. Their endurance was legendary, and it gave them an edge in every conflict. 9. A society built for war. What made the Vikings truly unique was that almost every man was ready to fight. In many societies, warriors were a separate class. But in Viking culture, farmers, fishermen, and traders could all pick up weapons and join the battle. War wasn't just a job, it was a part of their identity. So, why were the Vikings so much better at fighting? It wasn't just one thing. It was their entire way of life. Their tough upbringing, fearless mindset, and unmatched skills made them some of history's greatest warriors. But above all, it was their unity, determination, and belief in something greater than themselves that set them apart. The Vikings were more than fighters. They were survivors, explorers, and visionaries. And their story is a testament to the power of resilience and courage. If you've enjoyed this journey into Viking history, hit the like button and share it with your friends. And if you're as fascinated by the past as I am, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stories that bring history to life. Let me know in the comments, what do you think was the Vikings' greatest strength? See you in the next video.